All right, football season's back, which means the college football and NFL podcasts are back. I'm going to drop them weekly. I'm going to do my college football podcast Wednesday night. I'll be doing my NFL podcast Thursday, probably around. Maybe I'll do them both Wednesday night. Therefore, I can get it out if I want to bet on the Thursday night game for NFL. I'll do them both Wednesday. All right. For those of you who may not know, I'm going to try and do these weekly, like last year. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give out my 5 best bets of the week. It's 5 games I'm betting on. I'm going to do it in units. So 1 unit is $20, 2 is $40, yada, yada, yada. I'm going to give out my mortal lock of the week. I'm going to give out my favorite dog of the week. Once Big Ten season starts, I will pick every Big Ten game because I was Big Ten raised, Big Ten educated. Just seems right. And then I will take fan questions if fans give them to me, which I'm not really sure why you would trust your gambling advice on me, but who knows? Maybe I'll hit a heater for us to start the year and really sway the public. All right, so it's Wednesday night. I'm a little under the weather, so kind of a hero's tale that I'm doing this. I'm doing this for the people, not doing this for myself. Doing this to give you guys some hopefully free money or cost you guys money, and there will be pitchforks at my front door. Yada, yada, whatever. Let's get into it. Bet number 1 that I love, and I love this bet. This bet will be featured later in the show. Alabama -7 versus FSU on a neutral site. Look, first of all, Alabama, they're the best team in college football yearly. I love betting on the best team in college football, especially when there's not a lot of value right here. Excuse me, when there is a lot of value. Look, Saban's been the Bama head coach since 2007. He has never lost an opening weekend game, and he's played some tough opponents. He's played Virginia Tech a couple times, Michigan, USC. Those aren't easy. Those aren't cupcake games. And you know what? He's won each game by double digits. That trend will continue. There's no coach I trust to prepare for a game in the advance than Nick Saban. And he had 8 months to prepare for this game. With that being said, Bama's a veteran team. They're going to be very hungry and frankly pissed off coming off their championship loss in the last seconds to Clemson. And to beat Bama, you can't make mistakes. You can't shank a punt. You can't commit penalties. And you have to protect the football. The FSU QB does not protect the football. He's thrown interceptions in almost 60% of the games he played last year. You do that against Bama, and boom, you look up at the scoreboard, and it's 21-0 at the end of the first half. I think this one's never in doubt. I think this is a line that Vegas really messed up on. 7 points is nothing for Alabama. I know FSU's ranked 3rd, but we're talking Alabama here opening week. We're not talking late in October, November, in the dog days of the SEC schedule where they play LSU in LSU. We're talking Alabama's basically at home here. You think Bama's going to be only 7-point favorites at home? It's going to be a pro-Bama crowd. FSU fans can't afford this. They can't. So, Bama -7. I'm going to put 5 units on that. I feel great about this one. This is going to really kickstart our year. Next up, UCLA -4 home against A&M. Look, A&M's the biggest fraud team yearly. Everyone says, "Oh, A&M, look at the quarterbacks they have. Oh, A&M, look who's their coach? Who's their coach? Who's their head coach? Look at Kevin Sumlin. Look at Sumlin. Look at that team." And yearly they disappoint. My biggest reason for this bet, well, I have two. Texas A&M isn't focused on this game. They're just not. They're focused on what's going on at home. Their homes are flooding. People are homeless. It's a disaster there. Bless their hearts, they're playing in this game, but their mind will be elsewhere. I don't care what anyone says. They are not 100% focused on this game like UCLA. For reason number two, Josh Rosen's coming back. Top 5 quarterback. Going to go probably top 10 in the draft. Really, really good. So I'll take my top quarterback in home field. 4 points. It's not a lot. I think they can cover that. We'll put a unit on that. Also, big Jim Mora fan. I think he'll have his team ready to rock. Kind of hot seat year for Jim Mora. He really needs to maybe even win the Pac-12 to save his job. So, there's a little extra motivation there. All right, number 3. Louisville, minus 24.5 versus Purdue at Lucas Oil Stadium. Another game in the neutral site. I think Purdue fans will go there. I just don't think they're going to be loud. I think the Louisville fans will go there, and they're going to be loud. I think Louisville thinks, hey, we can win the ACC. We have Lamar Jackson. Pretty sure he won the Heisman last year, or he has. They're going to hang 1,000,000 points on Purdue. Purdue, new coaches, new schemes. First game, using those. It's going to be ugly. 24.5. I think Louisville wins by 35-40. That's what they do. They blow out the bad teams they play. Purdue's a bad football team. Put a unit on this. I feel pretty good about this. Especially no weather. It's on turf. Turf definitely plays to the advantage of the quicker, faster team. I'm sorry. I don't even have to look at the rosters. I know Louisville is quicker than Purdue. Next, USC home against Western Michigan, minus 27. I'm going to put 2 units on this. Sam Darnold. Guy is going to be the first pick in the NFL draft. He is legit. I know 27's a lot, but Western Michigan coming off that huge year, no way they can duplicate that. And in that locker room, they're like, guys, we're gonna be the next big thing. Like, people will talk about us in 10 years that we put Western Michigan back on the map. No. I'm sorry. They can think that. That's fine. They're going as far down in time zones as you can go unless you're playing Hawaii, and they're going to get stomped. They are going to get stomped. This is like a 51-10 game where Darnold is out for the fourth quarter. That's what this game is. USC too big, too strong, too athletic. It's going to be ugly. Next, LSU minus 14. Neutral site game against BYU. Originally was supposed to be played somewhere in Texas. It is now being changed. It is playing in the Superdome in New Orleans, which I think is outrageous. And if I was a BYU fan, I would be livid. So it's going to be 99.99999% LSU fans there. I'd be shocked if there was more than 15 BYU fans that make the trip there. That being said, this is Interim Ed's first year. I believe he got a 4-year contract. Players run through the wall for this guy. LSU ran through the wall for this guy last year once he took over, and they will do it again. They're going to be prepared, smash mouth football. Look, BYU is no slouch, but BYU in the LSU kind of environment, they've never played in an environment like that. They're not ready for that. They're frankly not prepared for that because this change happened a week or two ago. So it's going to be a tough one. I got a unit on LSU minus 14. 14 is a big number for 2 Power 5 teams. I hope BYU is a Power 5 team. If they're not, whatever. BYU is respectable. It's going to be a tough game, but I think LSU grinds it out, and they'll get the cover in the fourth quarter. All right, couple over-unders I like. So I'm going over my 5 best bets. It's actually going to be 7 today, which I can do that because, I mean, I run the show. So, I mean, if I like the bets, I'm going to place them. Memphis, tonight, 8 o'clock. Under 63. It was 67. Shame on me for not getting it at 67. So right now, it's currently raining in Memphis. And I'm just going to go through this. It has a 100% chance of rain throughout the whole night. I'm going to look at the radar. Yeah. Right now, we're getting a little remnants of Hurricane Harvey there. And by a little, I mean it's going to rain all night there. What does that mean? They're forecasting 5 to 8 inches of rain. That is no joke. How are you going to move the ball? You're not throwing the ball in 5 to 8 inches of rain. Frankly, you're probably turning the ball over a decent amount. That doesn't equal points. 63 points is a lot. You're telling me they're going to get to 63? There is no chance they're getting to 63. No chance. The total still sits at 63 right now, which shocks me. How are we scoring 63 points in a monsoon? There's just no way. I watch NFL games. I watch college football. When it's pouring rain, you don't want to be there. The fans are not going to be engaged. I'm frankly worried it might get called. If they play this game, they won't sniff 63 points. I have 3 units on this. UNL or whatever, UL, UN, Lafayette, whatever that team name is, Monroe, against Memphis in Memphis. 5 to 8 inches of rain from Harvey expected. Weather.com backs it up. I have it pulled up right here. Under 63 is the play. Absolutely is the play. That means these teams are not scoring 8 touchdowns. I'm sorry. There's no way 8 touchdowns get scored in this game. That would be shocking, especially with the rain. Because there's no way they're going to air the ball out. So that means we're going to run through the muck. If they run through the muck for 8 touchdowns, I'll tip my cap. You showed me. But there's no way they can throw. And to me, I don't think they're going to be able to throw or not going to be able to run and score 63 points. Clock's going to be ticking all game long. Memphis under 63. That one, lock it in 3 units. Next, I got Ohio State, Indiana, over 57. This is going to be a good one. Indiana doesn't play a lick of defense, and all they do is score. Indiana, I believe, has the former Ohio State offensive coordinator is the Indiana head coach. Give him 8 months to prepare. He's going to put up at least 21 at the minimum. That would be a bad day for Indiana. Ohio State's hanging 40. So 40-21, that's 61. That's over 57. Look, I love this bet. I'm going to put 2 units on it. Those will be our games to get us going tonight. My dogs for the weekend. I have Wyoming plus 12. I believe they're in Iowa City. Yeah, Wyoming is in Iowa. Plus 12. It's a lot of points to give someone with the top 10 quarterback in the draft. By top 10 quarterback in the draft, I mean someone who will go in the NFL's top 10 picks. He might even go number 1. That's a lot of points. Iowa, not a sexy team. Frankly, not a good team. You're telling me I need Wyoming to cover 12? I think Wyoming could win the game outright. So I love them. I also love Georgia Tech getting 3 against Tennessee. Georgia Tech runs the triple option. Tough to stop when you're conditioning. There's no way these guys conditioning are full on. Look, triple option, they'll run you to death. I like Georgia Tech plus 3. All right, more to lock time. This is a big one. All right, Mortal Log time. I didn't pause the podcast and I was trying to make some adjustments. Whatever, you guys can just sit and listen to that because I don't feel like starting over again. Not that this has been electric or anything, but whatever. All right, Mortal Lock. This is what I'll live and die on. I haven't had the best stretch of Mortal Locks, but I'm going to give out 2 tonight. Alabama -7 is my first Mortal Lock, and then Memphis under 68 is my second Mortal Lock. Look, I don't bet against Mother Nature. 5 to 8 inches of rain is no joke. I wish there was a way I could look up all the rain games in college and what their totals were, because I bet they'd be far under 63. Bama -7, opening week, the numbers, the history, Nick Saban coming off a loss. They're going to win. It's not a question. These are 2 Mortal Locks that I love. Look, I don't see how these lose. And, me Mortal Locking them could be the death of them. So, who knows what's going to happen. But it should be a fun season. Hopefully I can get these. The goal is to get these up to 30 minutes. This one was 17 minutes, so not my best work. But maybe get a guest on. Once I start betting the Big Ten, that'll be easier. Yeah, I think that's it. Actually, there's one more bet I want to throw in here. It's a futures bet on Nebraska. Their over-under on win total is only 7. That, to me, is outrageous. I'll run through their schedule. They open up at home at night against Arkansas State. At home, we're 45-5. Because I'm Big Ten educated, remember that. We're 45-5 at night. We haven't lost our last 20 night games. We don't lose at home at night. It's just not going to happen. So there's 1 win. At Oregon, 3:30 West Coast. Oregon's a shell of their former self. That's a probable win. There's 2. Home against NIU. That's another win. Home against Rutgers. That's another win. There's 4. We're at Illinois. Illinois stinks. Their over-under on wins is only 3. And I love that. I'd hammer the over on that. Regardless, Illinois stinks. There's 5. Then we have back-to-back games with tough games versus Wisconsin at home, versus Ohio State at home. Put those at night, and we win them both. It's not even a question. If those games aren't at night, I will drive to Lincoln with a pitchfork outside of our athletic director's office. It would be insane not to have those at night. So we'll conservatively say we split. There's 6 wins. At Purdue, they stink. There's 7. Home against Northwestern. Look, Northwestern's better. There's an 8th win. At Minnesota, look, the Gulfs are good, but you're 8-1 at this point. You're in the top 10. You're winning that game. 9-1 at Penn State. Going to be a tough game. I'm going to mark that down as a loss. 9-2 versus Iowa at home. Basically, a chance to go to the Big Ten championships on the line. You're 10-2 there. That's 10 wins, 2 losses. I'm no mathematician, but that's over 7. Why are they going to win more than 7? Because they didn't change a thing, but changed the most in the NCAA. They're now a full-on pro-style offense. They made it the 2 years with Tommy Armstrong, bless his heart, but he stinks. He can't throw the football. Now, put in Tanner Lee, a day 1 draft pick quarterback, and he's going to rifle the football around to all their young receivers. It's going to be brilliant. A veteran offensive line, running back by committee. Mike Riley's first year really lighting it up with pure talent that he never could have dreamed of at Oregon State. I love the offense. Defensively, Bob Diaco comes over, changes us to a 3-4 defense. I love the 3-4. So many ways to confuse a quarterback, exotic blitzes. There's nothing worse than running a basic 4-3 in the NCAA. No exotic blitzes. Look, the more you can confuse these young quarterbacks, the better. They're gonna be humming. They're not gonna have to do a lot. Offense is gonna be putting up a lot of points. Most of our tough games are at home. Stop the run. Get after the quarterback. The biggest key is to protect and take away the football and do not commit penalties. You do those three things, 10-2 is within reach, and you're going to the Big Ten championship game, and anything can happen there. This is a different era at Nebraska. This is not Bo Pelini-like. Bo Pelini, I can tell you right now, we would play Wisconsin, get blown out, play Ohio State, get blown out. We'd go to Minnesota, we'd lose. We'd go to Penn State, we'd lose. We'd be 9-4. People would be like, oh, yeah, we were right there. I'd be like, not really. We got blown out in every big game. Mike Riley wins the big game. He wins the big game. Did it at Oregon State? He did it 2 years ago. Even did it last year. Walked us into Wisconsin. The refs hosed us. Should have won that game. But first year, Michigan State walks in at night. They're 4 in the nation. We're 3-7, and we win. If those games against Wisconsin and Ohio State are not at night, I will riot. Those are at night. We win them both. You heard it here first. On Wednesday, August 30th, I believe. August 30th at 8:21 p.m. If the Wisconsin and Ohio State games are at night, we win them both, and that makes us 7-0, and that should put us in the top 3. It's our year. We're back. That's all I have to say. We'll catch you next week. I hope to God my Mortal Locks hit, or there will be riots. Let's go.